seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Eliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner. You know, I always trip over that line. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I can't say your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner without fearing that I'm going to say your favorite neighborhood esoteric practitioner, which is rather presumptuous because there may be other people on your list who you prefer over me. And hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And if I find out, I'm going to send a hex your way, damn it. Now, you know, there are people who do that. I don't get as much now because people are concerned with the economy. But I've been getting over the years so many things about saying, listen, there's this woman I just love, and she won't pay attention to me. Can we kill her? This is essentially what it adds up to. They don't do it in that regard. They don't do it that way. And half the time I feel like saying, you know, if you really, really, really want to get even with this person, just see if you can marry her because you sound like a loser. You're crazy. No, we don't use magic to kill people. Although under certain circumstances, very rarely would I recommend doing a thing like that. But if you go to my website, which is magick-works.com, magick-works.com, you will see a page on revenge. Because that's a lot of people want to do that. A lot of people think that it's good to use magic to destroy people, which I find kind of peculiar because you put that kind of energy out, it's going to come back. It will come back. It will. And the problem is, it's like this. This is how nature works. I knew a guy many years ago who was a private investigator, and it wasn't like Mannix or Shaft or any of that. He had a very particular subset of clients. He worked for the Doberman Pinscher Association. That was the main thing. That was his. You know, everybody who's self-employed will have a bread and butter account, and so, you know, they'll do other things, but one account pays the bills, and that's a precarious position to be in. So people are always looking for an additional, I could talk to you about my marketing days when we had one client that paid the bulk of the bills and the company spent all of its time trying to find another client, even though we had several others, but we wanted another biggie. In any case, this guy, there's this thing about Doberman Pinschers. They only kill their masters. You know, there's TV movies and things like that. Well, whenever a person who owned a Doberman, and you'll see the point, this relates to magic. Whenever a person who owns a Doberman is attacked by the dog, the sales of Dobermans would go down because that would be a big thing in the news. I haven't seen it in the news in years and years and years, but I guess it's not happening. I don't know. But in any case, they're not covering it. If it's a big cover-up, the Doberman Pinscher cover-up, and I'm going to call Woodward and Bernstein. But so this guy, we're going back to the 70s here. And I mean the dawn of the 70s, like the late 60s. But so he would investigate why the dog killed or wounded grievously its master. And he found the same thing all the time, always came to the same conclusion. It was invariable. People would get a Doberman. They're highly intelligent dogs. Highly intelligent dogs like to be trained and do what you want them to do. And if they're as intelligent as a Doberman or a German Shepherd, for that matter, they will pick things up and learn. They have the ability to learn, not just to memorize or remember, be trained. That's one thing, but to learn. And they always would get a Doberman and have it attack trained. That was the thing to do. Maybe people just aren't getting dogs attack trained anymore. Maybe they just realize dogs can be just dogs, you know. They always would get their Doberman Pinschers trained to attack. And yet they didn't know anybody to attack. Now, to impress their friends, they would give the dog the attack code, which would be something creative like kill. You know, and then the dog would, and would start straining the leash and go, and then they'd give the callback, which would be stop, let's say, for sake of simplicity, and it would stop. And they would do that over and over and over again. That's not very good for the dog's mental health because you can make a dog neurotic. And at some point, they say kill once too often, and the dog turns back and gets them. And that's what always happened. And that's what's going to happen if you send out that kind of energy with a dog and it's going to bite you in the throat. Imagine what will happen if you send it out magically to people. So you got to be very careful when you send out bad energy, because especially if the person you're sending it to has any even rudimentary magical knowledge, they know how to send it right back to you. That's a basic thing. I knew a guy who had the biggest dog I ever saw in my life. It was a St. Bernard, and it was massive. And he trained that dog that if he would be talking to people and say, watch this, and he'd say, kill, and the dog would leap up and put its paws, its front paws on the person's shoulder, guaranteeing a cardiac arrest, and then but start licking their face. He thought that was funny. I'm laughing because he thought that was funny. I have no idea what happened to him. One day he was just not there anymore. I have a feeling that somebody had an uncle in Brooklyn and said to him, "Kill." Yeah. But no, that was just the silliest thing. He scared the hell out of people doing that. And he would strike up conversations with people in the park with his dog just so that he could say, hey, watch this, kill. And this immense animal, like a bear, would rear up on its hind legs, put its paws on the shoulders, and just happily start licking the face, which, of course, everybody pictured being bitten right off. No. I guarantee you there are still, I'm talking about 1972, right? There's still people wake up in the middle of the night screaming, I'm sure of it. People who can't watch the old TV show Topper without freaking out now because, you see, there was a dog in that liked martinis. And that alone, if I had a dog in the house that liked martinis, I would bring it to the pound. Those are mine, baby. Well, not anymore. Time marches on, and I can't handle that kind of stuff anymore. Not the way I used to. Good Lord, not the way I used to. But it's not good. And besides, I had a friend who's deceased now who had a drug problem and a drinking problem. And I ran into him once in July, and I'd forgotten that he had a problem with drinking. We were chatting, and there was a nice local neighborhood bar there. And I say, come on in, I'll buy you a beer. This was July. It was hot. It was sweltering. Yes, there were hot Julys years ago. It's not something new now. And I said to the guy in July, I said, come in, I'll buy you a beer. And he said, no, I've got to be someplace in November. And that was just, I spent years as a writer specializing in comedic stuff too, which is odd because most of the screenplays I sold were crime stories. But I never could have thought of a line like that. And he said it with complete straight, he meant it. No, I've got to be somewhere in November. So we be aware of your shortcomings, I say, but I always keep a jar of olives in the refrigerator just in case somebody hits me with the rejuvenation machine and I can have a martini. And I love it. I'll still enjoy a nicely made martini, not too dry, Hey, I'll tell you a secret and get in a shameless plug. There's a really funny book my wife worked on, and I give her top credit in that because she did it. So see how magnanimous I am. I support the women's movement. When the woman does all the work, I give her credit. But I do have my name on it also. It's about risque bar napkins. If anybody's old enough to remember those, and if you're not old enough to remember them, you got to see this book. It's just so much fun. It's Naughty, Bawdy, Dirty Barn. I don't even remember the full name of the thing. You can find it at mojoacademy.org. You can find it at amazon.com just by looking up Naughty, Bawdy, Bar Napkins, or Bev Nap. And the reason I mention is that in the back of the book, we have a gift for you, which is a martini ordering card. I used to carry these. We put one in the book, not an actual card, but it's on one of the pages at the back of the book. It's the size of a business card, and you can scan that. You can put that book flat on your scanner and scan that and print out That'll slap into any template for business cards, perforated cards, the kind we all use on printers. And you can have it, and it tells you just check off exactly how you want your martini made. And everybody thought those were wonderful. We got, my wife and I made those up for the classic cocktail sidecar at one point, and that was enough to get us media coverage. I've always enjoyed doing that. Media coverage is so much fun. I mean, there was a time when media was fun. It wasn't just people yelling at each other, calling each other traitors. Oh boy. So yeah, those, you can do that. Those are fun. You can just print them out, scan it in and print it. But it's a really fun book, and it's got a whole array of bev naps, bar napkins, that would probably get a place closed down today because there's no sense of humor about sex anymore. And what else is there? Oh, there's one that is not particularly risque. It's a bev nap that is so nice. I got it in 1980, and I still have it. And I scanned it and put it in there and gave full credit to the company. It's a martini blueprint. Oh, what you see, people used to do creative things with bar napkins. Now, we know that they got rid of things like that and got rid of like matches. Well, first of all, they stopped smoking in bars, but the matches were a problem because all these things would be proof that like a drunk driver was at that bar. A lot of people don't know this, but it is against the law for a bar to serve you when you're intoxicated. I know it does sound weird, but that's the way it goes. But they can also, they can cut you off if you're apparently intoxicated. Now, I know you're thinking, what kind of reverend is this again? What kind of minister is this? Yes, I know the laws of drinking in all 50 states. Yeah, there you see. Now I'm doing my Foster Brooks impression for you old timers. Yeah. Anyway, that's by way of saying that. Look, we need all the laughs we can get, right? Oh, one of the things in the bar napkin book is I have in there a bunch of reproductions of the famous Groucho Marx bev naps. Oh, that has to be seen to be believed. You can find these. You can buy them online. They're really expensive, but get the book because it's an awful lot of fun, and it's got a nice little foreword that I wrote, which I did just so that I can slap my name on the front of the book too. But really, it's a full color reproductions of risque bev naps. What can I tell you? And it's good for laughs, and I think we should laugh about these things. And everything is fair game for joking, except you can get canceled for it these days. That'll pass. We've been through these reactionary kind of things. I'm personally a little tired of people saying, "Hey, I believe in freedom of speech," but, and then they, go on and tell you what's wrong with that. No, I'm a very big First Amendment guy, as you know, and just about every business I've ever been involved in is in the First Amendment. So there you go. I say you want to really be protected. Don't start a business that isn't protected by the Constitution. And even that's iffy. There's all these people want to get rid of the Bill of Rights now. I mean, free speech, presumed innocent. We actually had a governor here in New York who got into a little bit of legal trouble and had to hightail it out of office, who referred to the constitutional protection against double jeopardy as a loophole. Interesting. Now, I bring that up because every now and then there are jurisdictions that pass laws that say you can't read tarot cards for people. And that's absolutely unconstitutional. So there you go. And they always lose, by the way. But they do it. It scares people. And when people fear is the thing. There's a lot of people who became addicted to fear in the last few years. We've always had an undercurrent of fear running through our culture. Them is out to get you. Them is coming for you, that kind of thing. And we needed a new them when the Soviet Union collapsed, and we finally settled on who the them are. Us. Like The Pogo comic strip thing where he said, "I've met the enemy and he is us." Well, there you go. So get a laugh, man. I'm saying this in all modesty. It's a wonderfully, beautifully laid out book. It's a large size format, and it has full size reproductions of classic naughty Bevnaps that once upon a time you would find underneath your cocktail. And in the back, this is what brought it up. My mind wanders, and today I'm going with it. Is a martini ordering card that you can scan in and personalize if you want. If you want, you don't need my permission. Go for it. It's a fun book. I will be slapping up an announcement about it just to reinforce this on the website. It's at my website, magic-works.com. It's also at mojoacademy.org. But I will put a link to it at my tarot Facebook page. That's the one I like. That's the two Facebook pages I like are I like the tarot one because the tarot one has loads and loads of people there who they're nice. You know what I mean? The regular page, the regular Facebook stuff is it's Facebook. I know quite a few very nice people, and other people come by just to be obnoxious and cause trouble and argue, and that's most of the traffic there. But that's social media. It's pretty much the bathroom wall of the internet. The best thing I've got on social media is my tarot consulting page, because the people there are just so polite and nice, and it's, if I feel down, which I do occasionally, especially in the last few years, we all have, there's a lot of downward pressure on us. I go to the Facebook page there, which is why it was so much fun for Facebook to lock me out for a few days. They get mad at me now and then. They lock me out. Yes, they do. Mostly they've banned me for saying things that they said were false, which are now considered true. So there you go. But when they lock me out of that regular Facebook page, they lock me out of the tarot consulting page. And I don't like that, because the people there are just so extra nice. And if you're at the tarot consulting page, bless you. Because even if you don't participate, if you just look and watch and you see the little things I post there, it's very nice and I'm going to start shifting my activity there, because it's good vibes, man. It's good vibes. The people there are so nice. And you see what I mean? It's the tarot community. It's the magical community. For the most part, we're filled with nice people. There are a few negative folks, but they don't last. They just don't last. Well, remember now, it's Naughty Body, whatever, Bev. It's a long title, but it's Naughty and Body should get you there at Amazon. Naughty Body Bevnaps. And I'll have a link to it at Reverend Eliot's Tarot Consulting Facebook page. When the show is off the air tonight, I will do that. So let us get down to the readings now that we've discussed Doberman's killing people, St. Bernard's giving people cardiac arrest, and funny sexist bar napkins. All the good old occult things. But I told you the whole point of the Doberman Pinscher story was that's how magic will work. The magic will work. Magic will work like that. It will come back to you. And the negativity can easily hurt you, especially if it fails to hit its target. Oh, man, it's got to go somewhere. And guess who it's going to go to? The person who sent it. This is just like the story of the dog. I guess I could call that a fable or a parable, since I'm speaking parabolically. But yes, that private detective I knew, who was also a carpenter on the side, I built a beautiful bookcase for my parents. Any case, enough with the past. Somebody once said that people who worry and people who are obsessed with what could happen in the future. And by the way, keep in mind, as we're getting close to an election, politicians are going to start babbling more and more about the future because they want to divert your attention from what's happening now. And there is no future. There is no future. I want you to remember that. There is no future. The past is your memories and the future is your imagination. It's always now. Okay? There is no future. This is why they love talking about the future, because they want to get your mind off now. Every con artist will do that. Will put your face pointed towards the future. Look how much money you'll make if you invest with me, said Bernie Madoff. Look what that did to people. You know, it's always when somebody is trying to push you into the future, run, because it's garbage. Now, that doesn't mean don't plan in life. You can make plans here and there. Just don't expect them to come true. You know, they're a guideline. They're not a roadmap. There's things you can aspire to if you wish. I personally am devoid of ambition, and for the time I threw my oars overboard, life started working for me beautifully. You know, no ambition, no disappointment, and you never know. If you're focused on a goal, you're going to miss other opportunities. That's how I got most of the opportunities in life, was by seeing an opportunity popping up, and I say, I'll give it a shot. So let's look at now. This kind of sounds odd because we're going to look into, quote, the future in the tarot cards, but that's not exactly the same thing. That's looking at the arc of our own lives, and there's something you can do about it if you see something you don't like. If the cards show in your future an impending financial disaster, which it, you know, just read the newspapers, right? Then you know there's things you can do about that. In any case, yeah, you can consider the consequences of your actions, but don't let anybody sell you on running your life only for the future, because all you got is today. It's now. Because a week from now, it's going to be now. See what I mean? Let's ring a bell 3 times and start the curtain and pull back the curtain on the magical window. How's that? And now I'll reach up to the curtain rod and pull the curtain back on the magical window for Serena in Apple Valley, California. Hi, Serena. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi.
Hi, Serena. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What can I look at for you?
I'm not even sure. I guess future. I guess, or like
Well, let me tell you this. I'll look at some cards here. I just have I have one question for you, so I can see if these are on the right path. Did something kind of sad happen to you recently?
Yes.
Okay, because I've got a card here that indicates sadness, you know, so therefore I asked about that. Well, I'm also seeing that the situation is going to change. That's the Wheel of Fortune. It says the situation is changing. The next 3 cards are wands. Is there something going on in your work life?
Yeah, I'm kind of in between jobs, so.
Okay, well, you know, there's a card here that's the 2 of Rods, which is about you're kind of like waiting for something to grow and happen. So that tells me that that fits the idea of being between jobs. The 9 of Rods shows me that's a person who's prepared for what's happening. The 8 of Rods shows me that this is going to change, that there's something coming your way very soon. The Star tells me that you should be hopeful and optimistic about this. And the Page of Cups tells me it's the beginning of something. Something's coming that's going to be the beginning of really good emotions and happiness and joy for you. So it looks like to me that the sad thing, there's more money in your future too. Here's the 6 of Coins. You're going to find something that pays you well. I see that a job is coming to you and it's on the way, that you'll find something soon. Okay?
Okay.
Now, this is another card. This is called the 8 of Coins, and that is about a person who is working very hard at a new position and is going to be successful at it, and that will be recognized, and it will lead to other things. So all these cards are it may be something you haven't done before, because there's a hint in that card of apprenticeship and learning a new position, but you do really well at it. So between the eight of coins and the six of coins, it's telling me that, and of course the eight of rods, which means something is on the way, tells me that you're going to have a new job, and it's going to be something that you'll learn, you'll be very good at, and you'll be well paid for it. So hang in there, okay?
Okay. That's funny, because I just got offered an apprenticeship recently.
Oh, excellent. See, consider it. Now, the cards are not saying you must do this, but it's saying that it's worth considering, is what I see. Because I've also got the Ace of Swords here, which is a fascinating card, because it means the beginning of a new way of this mental activity is the swords. And sometimes it's strife, but then again, strife is always a thing in the mind. But the Ace of Swords is about developing a new way of looking at life. If you're coming up with a new way of seeing things, that's growth, and that's good. And then there's the Ten of Swords. You got the Ace and the 10. The Ten of Swords means a bad situation is about to end. So all the signs are good here. And of course, that Nine of Rods I got earlier says that you're prepared for this. So you should do very well at it.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to look at?
Well, I have, what about, like, family-wise, like, or, like, you know, like...
I didn't catch the question.
I said, like, well, what about, like, family-wise, like, or is that something that, like, is able to be seen, or, like...
Something you want to know what's going on with your family?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we get. Let's shuffle them up again. And cut the cards. Well, that's interesting. Is there somebody making trouble in your family?
Well, there's a couple things wrong right now, so.
Well, I've got a card here, which is the Five of Swords. Fives are not good news in tarot, and that's just like about a person who's sneaking around and causing problems. And darkness. There's the moon, which is about unconscious mind and dreams, and yet I think you're going to come through it okay, because the sun is here. That's the card of healing and health and growth and happiness. But to be aware that this is the Judgment card. This person's going to get what the people who are causing trouble are going to get what they deserve. Okay, that's worth knowing. I'm seeing that there's some people causing trouble in your family, but it isn't going to succeed, and you'll come out fine. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your kind words. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle up the cards and get right to the next reading, because I spent so much time talking at the beginning. Brooke in Wisconsin. Hi, Brooke. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. You sound energetic. You're waking me up.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
What can we look at?
I'm looking for a new house. I have to move very soon, and I have two daughters. And I'm also going to need a car, so it's all kind of coming up quick. So I'm just kind of looking for whether it's going to happen, what I'm going to do.
Okay, let's see what it looks like here. Is there a new job in your life? Hello, Brooke? Have we lost Brooke?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, now I hear you. Is there a new job in your life? Or are you looking for work?
I'm looking for a new job, yes.
Yeah, because I have the Ace of Rods, and rods are about career and work, and the aces are new beginnings. So, and here's the Ace of Coins. So that's telling me that money is going to be coming in. You will get a new job, and you will get more money out of it. Okay, that's what I see. I'm laughing because here's another card about getting money. It's the Six of Coins. I had this, and here's a card I had earlier also. I had that too. Is the Ten of Swords. That's a card that means the bad times are coming to an end. It looks awful. A lot of people think the card means the person's dead, but it really means that you've been through the worst, and you'll get up and it'll be fine. The Two of Coins, here, there's money. There's 3 money cards here. It tells me that you're good at juggling funds and balancing things and getting new things going and stretching your money and doing well with it. So it looks like you're going to do all right. You're entering a new phase in your life is the main thing that I see here. That is, and don't be alarmed, that's the Death card. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to die. The Death card means the end of one period of your life and the beginning of another, because there's a sunrise on it. I mean, it would be pointless for the cards to point out that somebody is dying, because we're all eventually headed that way. And they rarely showed death. I had a really nasty experience when I was starting to read with that card. I didn't explain it properly to somebody. But you're about to enter a new phase in your life. A new you is coming, and it's going to be very good. It's going to have new work and money. And here, the Four of Rods. It's a happy home and joy, and it's looking really good. I think that what you're doing is going to pay off for you. I don't see any speed bumps here at all. And if you're hoping for this to be a turning point in your life, it's going to be. That's for sure.
Good.
The thing is, another card here is strength. That tells me that this is going to take some strength and discipline, but the appearance of that card says you can do it.
Okay, good. Do you see anything with my daughters, or I'm sorry, keep going.
No, it's okay. Is there a bad situation going on here?
Just nervous about custody, making sure I keep custody. One's at college and one's home.
Okay, because I do see the tower struck by lightning is here, and that's a card that refers to something happening suddenly and changing the situation, and things just, when you don't expect it, it's going to change. And the card after that is the Ten of Cups, which is complete happiness and joy, and it actually shows happy children on it. And the Six of Swords is a card of getting from where you are, rough waters, to where you want to be, which shows smooth waters, through your own efforts. So it looks to me like you're going to get what you want.
Oh, good. It was a sudden having to move, pretty sudden, and I'm still looking for a place, and I only have about a week.
Well, that's the Tower of struck by lightning. that's the card of sudden change hitting you. But I think that this is going to turn out well. This is going to come your way. Now, there's a choice you're going to have to make. They have the Lover's card here, and that is not a romantic card. That just means that the person has a choice in life, that they'll a fork in the road, so to speak, and has to make a choice. And I think you'll handle that well.
Good. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. You really made me feel better.
The key here is that the Ten of Cups is the card of great happiness. Okay?
Good. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Have a good night.
Thanks. And you're listening to Reverend Eliot's Magical Window on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific to look through the magical window of the tarot, find out what's going on in our lives, make sense of certain things that we don't understand now, maybe, and get a glimpse of the future. Even though I gave you that whole big rap about there is no future, that's the conundrum. See, that's the, it's a what's the word? It's a dilemma in a sense, because what happens to us, the Taoists believe, is already written in the book of life, And yet, they also believe that we are free to make our own decisions. So it's a contradiction, and it's unexplainable. And frankly, I think religion gets away with a lot of stuff by saying that's a mystery. I can't do that. I can't. I can't call the building owner here and say about this month's rent. It's a mystery. No, you can't do that. Oh boy! But you see, looking into the future would be meaningless if it was set in stone. Then what would be the point? Why would you want to look if there's nothing you could do about it? That would only lead to apathy and dread. But there are things you can do about it. And you see, it's one of the reasons people feel relieved after a tarot reading is that it can confirm, most of the time, it can confirm what they think is going on is actually going on. And that's what I like about it. The future changes. The future now is not the same as the future 5 minutes from now. And you are not the same person that you were before a tarot reading, because after the reading, you've got different information and you can act on that and do things. So you see, there is an element of fate combined with free will, and it's a mystery. Karen in Washington is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Eliot. Hi, you there?
Yes,
Oh, hi. How are you doing tonight, Karen?
I'm doing all right.
Great. What can I look at for you?
My family dynamic.
Okay. Anything in particular? That's kind of a big territory there.
Yeah, no. I was married to their dad, and then he left, and then it was a horrible breakup. He never came back, and he never even came to visit the kids.
Oh.
And we lived in the same town.
Well,
and then I got with my high school sweetheart, and he turned out to be a nightmare. And I was with him for 5 years, and my kids are grown now, and our relationship from both men in my life has kind of scarred our family dynamic.
I'll bet. There's no kidding. I applaud you for being here and being so lucid about it, because I'm looking at the cards and things have been bad. From what I see in the cards, it's been worse than you're saying publicly. You know what I mean? You're holding back a little, and I don't blame you. First, let me tell you what I got. The first card, I rarely get this card. It's the Hanged Man. That is a card of a person who has made sacrifices in order to do something greater than ordinarily would be expected. And that is you. You have made sacrifices for your children, and it's been good. You've handled it well. Let me put it that way, according to these cards. The Devil card is here. Now, that is not satanic. That is, you'll recognize this, as I describe it. It can be a man or a woman, but in my experience, when the Devil card turns up, it's almost always a man. And it's always a very attractive man. And it's always a man who has great charisma and power. And that person is very attractive, and you can get things around that person, fulfillment and all kinds of stuff. But eventually you find out the cost is very high. You know what I mean? There's what I'm seeing here is that they're very hard to get away from, these kind of people that are represented by the Devil card. In fact, there's a man and a woman chained to the devil in this card. And that's because this is these people are magnetic. They don't walk around as like looking evil, you know what I mean? But they can really exert their control over you in 1,000 different ways that you won't even notice until you start thinking about it years later. The fact that you got away from them, as difficult as that was, is masterful. You did well with that. That's followed by the Eight of Swords, which is a person who feels tied up and bound and doesn't know which way to go, which is what happens when you leave a dynamic person like that. And eventually you have to, because they can be overpower. They will be overpowering, and they'll just take over your life. And the best thing about it is they do tend to go away and leave you there and never talk to you again, because they're off doing this to somebody else. You got out of that phase too of feeling stuck, because that's followed by the Empress. And the Empress shows me a woman who can make things happen and make things grow. And that's followed by the Temperance card, which tells me that you've worked to restore balance in your life. That's the main thing when we get involved with a person who is represented by the Devil card, is we lose a sense of balance, but we don't know it right off the bat. We know it later. We know it when they're gone. We feel it then. But you've managed to restore that sense of balance. So you're doing well in terms of A, having survived these people, and B, you're thriving. And the next card I have is the Six of Rods, which is about great success and triumph. And you did. The fact that you got out of that, and, they didn't treat you very well, did they? Are you there, Karen? I think we've lost Karen, have we? Yeah, Karen, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, I hope you heard what I was saying, because there was a little breakdown here. But yeah.
No, I heard you. I'm just crying.
Oh, I don't mean to draw that out of you like that. But yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those were very dangerous times for you, weren't they?
Yes.
But you're here. You got through it. And you're succeeded, and your life is restored to balance. And you're going to be fine, according to what I see here at these cards. There's good stuff headed your way. The Strength card is here. That's the key. You have the strength to do that. The Chariot is a card that's here that shows that you were able to control your emotions. Because people like that assert a very strong emotional pull. I mean, I know people who've been involved with horrible folks that fit this mold, and they still miss them. Because it can be exciting to be around a person like that. It can be profitable in certain ways, but the cost is high.
Yeah.
But at some point you recognize that, and yet you still, listen, let me put it this way. I don't know enough about these people to make a determination that, quote, they were evil, okay? But I do know that nothing leaves people more confused and upset than an encounter with evil people. I mean, that's the first sign. There's a wonderful book by Scott Peck. He wrote a very feel-good book that sold millions of copies called The Road Less Traveled. His next book is not a feel-good book. His next book is about evil people, and it's called The People of the Lie. And I recommend that to everybody, The People of the Lie, because it's one thing evil people have in common is that they lie. They will lie when they could just as easily tell the truth. I mean, they really lie, then that's a sign. Another sign of an encounter with an evil person is you feel really bad after. I mean, you question your own sanity, you question everything, because they're good at that, at doing that. But you got through this okay. Maybe if you looked at the book, The People of the Lie, you might find out if that's what happened, that you had an encounter with people who are evil. And they seek out nice people to do this to. The Nine of Coins is here, and that's a very good card at this point in your life, because it's about a person who is at peace with herself. It's a misunderstood card. It means that you can take solitary pleasure in life. That doesn't mean you're going to be alone all your life. It means that you don't need other people around you all the time, that you can be very comfortable as yourself. And very few people can do that. There are a lot of people who've got to be out all the time and meeting people and doing things and got some schemes going and hatching plans and doing all that. But this is a serene person, and you've gotten there. If you can have two encounters with people like this in your life and come out as a serene person and look objectively at what happened, you are a winner. Okay, you're doing fine. It may not feel good, but you will. You understand? This hurts. This stuff hurts, and we're wounded. We are literally wounded by people like that. Lest anybody wonder if I'm projecting or not. Yeah, I had an encounter with somebody like that in my life, and it leaves you. You got to really make a break from people like that, and it can be hard. And yet, there it is. I tell you what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me just assure you, listen to this, go to askoneradio.com and listen to this show at the archives after it's up there in a day or so, and listen to your reading, because it's very positive. You've done very well, even though you don't feel like you have, but you have. And I will, after the show, light a white candle and send positive energy your way, so that you can help keep those good vibes going, okay? And remember, and this goes for everybody listening too, but especially I'm talking to you, Karen. Ask Tarot, AskTarot at earthlink.net. That's my email. AskTarot at earthlink.net. Or you can find me through my website. There's all kinds of ways. Just Google Reverend Eliot's Magical Window, and you'll find a way to contact me. Anytime you need to, just drop me a line, and I'll be happy to pull a few cards for you on the house and see what's cooking. Okay?
Right.
Because I know you feel bad, and that's good. You wouldn't be human if you didn't feel bad after what happened to you. So it will listen. It will pass. And you'll be fine, okay?
Okay.
Hang in there, and I'll send that positive energy your way. And do not hesitate to contact me if you feel you need, even if it's just to vent at somebody. And we'll talk. I'll either by email or I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay.
Hang in there. Bye-bye now. Well, let's shuffle up the cards. This is something that I may want to devote a show to, may even want to devote a book to. Encounters with evil people can shatter you. Shawana in California is next. Hi, we've got a few minutes. Let's see if we can get a reading in for you.
Okay.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I've been tired all day, but I come alive. I wake up when I do this. I feel great. What can I look at for you?
My marriage.
Okay. Has the marriage ended?
No.
Okay.
You're separated.
Oh, you're separated. Okay, because I'm getting signs of things not going too well, But the worst is over is also what I'm getting in here. So that's good. There's a card here of optimism. There's a card that says that like I said, the worst is over. There's the Seven of Rods is a person who can sweep away obstacles. The Lover's card here, of course, that has a dual meaning now, but it's really about making a decision in life. So you have a big decision to make about this marriage, like you didn't know, obviously. One of the main reasons I asked was that there's a card here called the Three of Swords, and that shows a heart that's pierced by swords, and the heart is crying, and that generally indicates divorce and marital problems. It doesn't mean that you are going to get divorced. It just means there's a problem here. But that's followed by the Ten of Swords, which tells me that the bad times, the hard stuff is coming to an end. So the Lovers is telling me that it's going to be resolved one way or the other. It depends on which way you want to go. Right now, you don't really know what you want to do. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because that's the Two of Swords. That's the Two of Swords is like a stalemate. It's something that isn't moving. There's the Two of Cups here, too. See, there's a lot of twos here. There's duality here. The Lovers has two people. The Two of Cups has two people. Two of Swords is a two. The Chariot is here, which has two horses. All this is telling me that right now you're just stuck not knowing which way to go. Now, you know that, so I'm not helping you any. You're going to figure it out. I have the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords here, the Ace of Swords is about a new way of thinking and a new way of seeing things. You weren't being treated very fairly, were you?
Not doing the split.
No. That's the Five of Swords. That's a person who is maybe even going behind your back and being nasty and not being honest and truthful. But I'm telling you now, you're going to be all right. You're going to make the right decision, whichever way you go. The Ace of Cups is here. That's the beginning of happiness and joy. The World is here. That is assured success. The Nine of Coins. I just had that a moment ago for somebody. That is, you'll be confident in yourself and who you are and what you need to do. Again, we don't have time to really take a deep look into this. And even if we did, I certainly wouldn't have the cards tell you what to do because you know better what to do. What the cards are saying, though, is because like I have the Eight of Cups, which means you're considering leaving. But you'll pick the right thing to do. Just whatever choice you make, according to what I see here, just have confidence that you'll make the right choice, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I got to go. But because I'm up against the end of the show. But if nothing else, just keep that in mind, that the cards are showing that when you make this choice, you're going to do what's best for you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
So, bye-bye now. And that's it. We've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. And we've gone from Doberman pinchers to evil people. Yeah, boy, we really sure we cover the gamut, don't we? And rightly so, because life is a panoply. I've never had a panoply. Remember, though, I'm serious about this because so many. It's bad enough that we have people out there who try to keep us afraid all the time. We call them TV news, and that's literally their job, is to keep us all scared. But you're not going to fall for it. I know that. But they're out there. That's a lot. It's a lot. But when you have an encounter, there are evil people. There really are. There's a wonderful speech about that in the movie called The List of Adrian Messenger, about evil is. Kirk Douglas delivers it beautifully. It's only a couple of moments long, but it's dynamite in that movie. And I highly recommend the film. But I'm up against the clock, so if I want to leave you with anything here, remember, you can get in touch with me at asktarot@earthlink.net. Ask Tarot, one word, at earthlink.net. The website is magic-works.com, magick-works.com. And check out the book, The People of the Lie, because that's really deep stuff about getting hurt by evil people. So until next week, remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.